Here we go. All right. Welcome everyone to another session of QA course. Today we are going to talk about bugs, but first we will be taking any questions from you from the ISTQB documentation, which we hope that you've read by now. So go ahead and ask your questions and we'll try to answer them. That's a strong start. Well, if no one has any questions, maybe Georgiana, you can go ahead with with your prepared questions, and maybe people will come up with theirs later on.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Let's start sharing. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
I prepared similar with last time. Few questions this time from the next chapters. I left the last two chapters for the next week, and let's start with the first one. So it's which of the following statement is correct? This is related to regression. Regression tests increase in number as the project progresses, whereas the number of confirmation tests decreases as the project progresses. B, regression tests are created and run when the test object is fixed, whereas as confirmation tests are run whenever the test object is enhanced. C, regression testing is concerned with checking that the operational environment remains unchanged, whereas confirmation testing is concerned with testing changes to the test object. And D, regression testing is concerned with adverse effects in unchanged code, whereas confirmation testing is concerned with testing changed code. Any answers? Any ideas?
We have an answer in the chat. Someone says B.
B. Other questions? So regression tests are created and run when the test object is fixed, while confirmation tests are run whenever the test object is enhanced. Actually, it's the other way. Confirmation tests are created and run when the test object is fixed. A regression are run whenever the test object is enhanced. The correct here is D. Regression testing will ensure that we do not have negative effects on unchanged software, and the confirmation testing verifies that the defect has been fixed. I think this is related to chapter 2 in the syllabus. If you want to take another look at that. I will go to the next question. Which of the following statement best describes the acceptance test-driven development approach? A, in ATDD, acceptance criteria are typically created based on the given when-then format. In ATDD, test cases are mainly created at component testing and are code-oriented. C, in ATDD, tests are created based on acceptance criteria to drive the development of the related software. In ATDD, tests are based on the desired behavior of the software, which makes it easier for team members to understand them.
Cast your votes. Who wants to answer this one?
Nobody? So if we look at first one, this is more behavior-driven development, a BDD mentioned in the course. The second one, it's a test-driven development. And our good answer is going to be C. Tests are written from acceptance criteria as part of the design process. So this is the correct answer. And D, it's again a behavior-driven development. Yeah, I think you feel this question are a little bit hard. I can say for me also this like the part related to like all the like not practical one, it's more difficult than the practical one. So let's go to something practical. So here it's something related to test cases, number 3. If you are testing a system that calculates the final course grade for a given student, the final grade is assigned based on the final result according to the following rule. For failed, we have 0, 50 points. For fair, 51, 60 points. Satisfactory, 61, 70, 71, 80 for good. And very good, 81, 90 points. And 91, 100 points for excellent. And then we have the following set of test cases. I think it's easier to see the table here. To see the, let me see if I can make it smaller so it fits all this part. Is it still visible if I do like this?
We cannot see the
Yeah, then it's better to go like this. So I will leave then just this. The question is, what is the two-value boundary value analysis coverage for the final result that is achieved with the existing test cases? So we can see that first test case will have the final result 91, test case 2, 50, test case 3, 81, test case 4, 60, test case 5, 70, and test case 6, 80. And the answers are 50%, 60%, 33.3%, or 100%. I'm going to show you again the grades here and the points. And here it's something related to boundary values. I don't know why for me it's a nice thing to test with the boundaries. I don't find it hard. And it's more like makes sense.
You usually find bugs at the boundary.
Yeah, that's another thing. Any answers? Any ideas? So these test cases are covering 50%, 60%, 33.3%, or 100%. I'm gonna give you a hint. So we can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels for the final result. And the test cases are also 6. So did we cover every each one, or we still have some? No question in chat, Sergio. No
Yeah,
answer, sorry.
we do have an answer. It's 100%.
Actually, it's not 100%, because when we look at the boundaries, we look for both values. So we're gonna have all these numbers like 0, 50, 51, then 60, 61, excuse me, 70, 71. So all these will need to be covered. So with our test cases, we miss some of them, I think actually half of them. We miss 100, we miss 81, 71, 61, 51, and 0. So we have just half of them. So the correct answer here is going to be 50%. Is this clear? Why is this 50%?
Yeah, Razvan says
Yeah.
he got the
Yeah.
idea. So
Okay. Yeah. So we have to check for each of the results the boundary. Okay. The next question is which of the following is not true for white box testing? During white box testing, the entire software implementation is considered. B, white box coverage metrics can help identify additional tests to increase code coverage. C, white box test technique can be used in static testing. And D, white box testing can help identify gaps in requirements implementation. Any answers?
not yet in the chat. Still nothing. So anyone, you can go through the answers and see which one sounds the best answer. You could also eliminate. You can go by elimination. We have an answer. It's a C.
C. That's not the one.
Any other answers?
The correct one, I'll go with the answer. It's D. White box testing cannot identify gaps in the requirements. This is the weakness of the white box testing. They are not able to identify the missing implementation because they are based on the test object structure. So not on the requirement specification. Okay, and let's go to the next one. Here it's again something related to boundary again. You are actually, yes, it's something with boundary. You are testing a form that verifies the correctness of the length of the password given as input. The form accepts a password with the correct length and rejects a password that is too short or too long. The password length is correct if it has between 6 and 12 characters inclusive. Otherwise, it is considered incorrect. At, for, at first, the form is empty, password length is 0. You apply boundary values analysis to the password length variable. You set test case achieves 100% boundary value coverage. The team decided that due to the high risk of the component, test cases should be added to ensure 100% three-value boundary value coverage. Which additional password lengths should be tested to achieve this? So I think this is like covers the testing for a password length, like all the coverage. So we have the answers A, 4, 5, 13, and 14, B, 7, 11, C, 1, 5, 13, and D, 1, 4, 7, 11, and 14. So we have here the correct, this has been in between, we have 7, 6, 12, I will highlight this.
We have a possible answer, D, so the last one.
Yes, that's the correct answer. Yes, because we have the correct the password that are too short from 0 to 5. We have to test those. Then we have to test the one that are correct between 6 and 12 inclusive. And then too long, 13, 14. And then we need the values, like for the full coverage, we need 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13, and 14. And then because we already covered some, the one mentioned in D are the ones we also have to complete. Okay, and the last one for today. Your team analyzes the following user story in order to define the acceptance criteria. As a registered customer, I want to be able to view my previous orders on the company's website so that I can keep track of my purchases. Which of the following test cases will not be relevant for this user story? A. Input: the customer logs into their account on the website and clicks to see order history button. Expected output: the system shows a list of all the customer's previous orders, including the date, order number, and total cost. B. Input: the customer clicks on an order from the order list. Expected output: the system displays the individual items purchased along with their prices and quantities. C. Input: the customer clicks Sort Ascending button on the order history screen. Expected output: the system shows the order history sorted by order number in ascending order. And D. Input: an unregistered customer registers as a new customer with a valid email address that does not already exist in the customer database. Expected output: the system accepts the registration and creates the account. So the question is, which of the following test cases will not be relevant for this user story, which is, I want to be able to view my previous orders on the company's website. This is not a hard one.
Uh,
I think. Any
possible
answers?
answer. Possible answer would be D.
Yes, that's correct. Oh, and now I noticed that most of my question had D as the correct answer. Yeah, that's why, because that's the correct answer, because here, like the user story was about my previous orders, and the answer was about customer registrations. Okay, so these were the questions. These are again taken from the ICTQB foundation level exam samples. So you can find more questions like this there, and to practice. Some of them are tricky, but some of them are not so hard. If like this, if you still want to take the exam for ICTQB. Okay, that was all from my side.
Thank you, Georgiana. Uh, I'm going to take over the share screen. Um, okay. Okay. I'm going to walk you through um, the slide which we've been talking about in the first course. We are going to talk about how a bug is structured, and we are going to take a look at a few bug samples. So, if you remember, when we first talked about this course, we mentioned the bugs and the fact that a software bug is an error or flaw that prevents software from working correctly as intended. This can be a crash, an incorrect result, a security vulnerability, or plain poor user experience. Now, what I didn't mention then is what exactly does a bug contain? So, a bug report uh, usually must contain a unique ID that's assigned by the bug tracking software. Okay, a suggestive title or summary, the steps to reproduce it, and the expected results and the actual results. These are the five main ingredients of a bug report. Now, if you want to know, if you want to go beyond the the classic bug report and make it a really good one, you also need to include a screenshot or a screen recording if it's something that needs to be seen in dynamically. The environment on which you are testing, uh, a set of prerequisites if those are needed. You'll see in a bit. Like notes, whatever else whatever notes a tester can make, the rate of reproducibility for the intermittent issues. And now we are going to the experienced tester realm. Snippets of code, if you can get a hold of them, and maybe even suggest a technical fix for it. So this is what the bug should contain, with a high emphasis on the first five. Any questions up until now from anyone? All right. Thanks, everyone. Now, we're going to go forward and look at two or three bugs. They're actually mine, which I've wrote in a long time ago, as you can see, 2017 and 2020. Um, these bugs are still open. We used this bug report tool to report them. It's webcompat.com. It's a project from Mozilla. So basically, you would uh, you would fill up this field here with the URL, select the issue type, the subtype, and then it will ask you about the environment, which browser, and basically steps to reproduce. But let's go deep in how such a bug looks like. Let me just open the. Okay. So as I said before, we need a unique ID. The unique ID is right here in the URL box. Is 48236. Uh, Usually, I mean, you cannot have two bugs with the same ID on the same project. Okay, going forward. Suggestive summary title. My summary was primary tab flickers when dragging an email over it, and it's on Google Mail. Okay, steps to reproduce. I have the steps to reproduce here. So basically, go to mail.google.com and to drag an email over the primary tab or any other. Those are the steps to reproduce. Expect a result. The primary tab is not highlighted, and the actual result is the primary tab flickers when moving the email over it. So this is uh, the bare bones skeleton of a bug. What I did more here is mention the environment. I have the environment here. Is browser version is Firefox Nightly. This is the version of Firefox I've been using, and I've been using it on Windows 10 Pro and on Mac OS 10.15.3. Um, and I also had a set of prerequisites, as I said earlier. So the third item is prerequisites here. So my prerequisites was to log into Google, and then in Google Mail, you must have the primary social promotional updates and forum steps enabled. You'll see in a bit. Why we use the prerequisites? Because if we didn't use the prerequisites, maybe we would have like 20 steps to reproduce here, because you first had to actual go to mail.google.com and fill in the user and the password fields and log in, and then go and enable these tabs, and then you would have to go to the inbox and do the second step actually. So you can see there are a lot of other steps included here in the prerequisites. But we assume that whoever is fixing this will know how to do these actions without going in too deep to explain them. So we are only explaining the what actually needs to be done here. So to see how this works is like this. So I've dragged the first email to the primary and see that the background flickers and also the social one flickers. And this is the screen recording right here. Any questions around this? Why some things are like they are and some maybe are not? All right. I do have another one. It's should be the same, only I mean, the same structure, but a different bug, of course. This is on Facebook. Okay, so on Facebook, the guest can invite friends section is not centered. We have the URL here, facebook.com, the browser version again, the operating system. This was tested on a phone, on Galaxy Note 4 with Android 501. You can disregard this problem type because it's being created by the form I've showed you earlier. So we have the steps to reproduce. Navigate to facebook.com, log in, tap the hamburger button top right. I cannot show you in this screenshot. Okay, then tap the events option, tap the create event button, hide the keyboard, and observe the guest can invite friends section. You see, I've used how are these called, quotes. Yeah, I've used quotes so that whoever tests this knows exactly where they are looking in the app. So they will look for the guest can invite friends section. We have the expected behavior. The guest can invite friends section is centered, and the actual behavior that section is not centered. And as notes, um, I've tested on multiple browsers. So the issue is also reproducible on Firefox uh, release on mobile and on Chrome on mobile. And I've attached a screenshot. Usually these notes are of great importance to whoever wants to fix it because they can narrow down the issue. And what happened here was that the guest can invite friends was not centered into this light colored shape over here. Any questions about this? What do you think? Could you reproduce such a bug with the information given? I'm getting nothing. All right. So as you can see, the steps to reproduce are kind of like a smaller version of a test case with its expected and actual behaviors right here. All right. The third bug, basically the same. This is navigate to AWS, tap the account settings edit button, observe the layout. But we have also prerequisites here. You must be logged in with valid credentials. The layout is correctly displayed and the layout is messed up. What I mean by the layout is messed up is this. So we have the name with its edit field. Email should be center left over here and with its own edit button, and the password also underneath the email field and with its own edit button, and then the done button should be lower. So this was a really messed up layout on mobile. And as you can see at the note section, I've stated that this is also reproducible on another version of Firefox, but it is not reproducible on Chrome. So this is very important. It means that this is only an issue on Firefox. All right. I guess this is it from my for my examples. Do you have any questions? Because if not, I think this is it from us for today. So if you have any questions, please ask them now. Georgiana, is there anything you would like to add to this?
No, I think that's it. Yeah, for the bugs, usually, yeah, actually, yes. In my project, for example, we changed a little bit the way, like the steps and all the information we need to include. So this might be like a sample for each project that you have to follow, because depends on the project and what's in there. But this is like what you mentioned. It's like all the stuff that could be included. So usually there are not so many. And ID is coming automatically. And what else? Usually the same environment.
Yeah, if it's the same environment, it doesn't make sense to keep mention it in the bug summary.
Yeah, for my side, for example, what I have all the time, I have different studies, we call them.
Hmm.
And I always mention the study because each study can have a different setting and it might not reproduce with other settings,
Correct.
which is important to, that's why, because of these settings, it's important to mention the uh, prerequisition.
So basically, that's your environment. So you need to mention the environment on which
It's the same environment, but
the
we have
study.
different
Hmm.
studies, yeah, in each one.
Hmm.
Yeah. So each project has some like specific
Yeah.
things that it's gonna be reflected in the bug like skeleton.
Hmm.
I think that's it from my side.
We have a question from Razvan. His was some YouTube clips related to white box and black box. So is white box is for automation or it's working for the manual also? In some of those clips, they said that white box is pretty much for automation. Well, white box means that you can actually see the code run and you can have a look at the actual code. You can do static analysis on it. Black box is when you don't know how the insights work and you only see the app running basically. So yeah, white box is not necessarily only for automation, I would say. Does that answer your question or should we try harder? But you have to know a bit of coding too for white box, right? I think Georgiana can answer this.
I'm not sure actually on this.
Well, yeah, if you need to look at the code, I think you need to know a little bit of coding so you can do white box testing. Yeah, maybe some basics, not necessarily know how to code, but maybe know how to read the code. All right. Anything else? If not, I'll stop the sharing, the screen recording. Sorry.